how do I get in front of where things are going? What can I do to create more revenue, create more impact? How do I create stuff that allows me to stand out?
Hey everyone, are you fired up? Because I sure am. I've got Dean Graziosi here. He is a best-selling New York Times author of Millionaire Success Secrets. He's an entrepreneur. He's just like you in many ways. He has actually been a real estate agent, an investor. He teaches agents in the past how to just absolutely invest in real estate and to crush it. So we've got Dean here. I'm super excited to talk to you. Welcome, Dean. Thanks for being here.
Good to be here with you, Krista.
So I'm so excited right now. I've read your books. I love them. I've been following you for quite a while now. So my demographic is a lot of real estate agents. I'm trying to figure out what it is, like anything I'm not thinking of how I can position your product offer for Project Next to a way that's going to appease them. I had asked Nicole if you can just do a quick video to my saying, hey, Krista would never, ever refer something she doesn't totally believe in. But I'm just trying to think of what else can I do that I might not be thinking of to get my real estate agents to realize how they can use Project Next to enhance their business, not really to sell like information or products, but to make their business be better or just anything.
Here's what I know. Look what you do. So you teach real estate agents to be better at what they do, right? If you think of creating an information product, if I think of some of the real estate agents I know that have done so well in their life, right? They educate consumers on how to make a right decision. Like, think of like the 7 deadly sins of choosing the wrong real estate agent, right? Imagine if that was your calling card where it wasn't just choose me, I could sell better and quicker. It's like, let me educate you on how to choose the right real estate agent, right? And it's probably stuff you teach, but why wouldn't they create a consumer guide, right? Think of a consumer guide, a digital product on how to teach people to choose the right person, which therefore they are the right person because they're being taught by you and they're better. I mean, especially where the economy is going, right? You're going to have to help these people way more in the next 5 years than you did in the last decade. We know that, right? So I believe that they could bolt on a digital product of sharing information that would get people to want to choose them. I think that's one thing. And I'm just riffing off the top of my head. I just know agents that have done that and excelled during even through 07, 08 because they're like, hey, when in a shifting economy, this is the type of agent you want. Here's the 7 the 7 things needed, right? It's like 3. You could make sure you don't have an agent or make sure you have an agent, right? But this is what you're looking for in an agent. Someone who does this, someone does this, someone does this. All could be delivered digitally. All doesn't cost them anything to deliver. They could build a following and they could build an education pipeline that would bring them more leads than them doing the traditional fashion. So I think that's how they could do it to enhance the business they have. Well, simultaneously in their journey, they're definitely a chapter ahead of someone else who's starting off on day 1.
Yes.
So they could literally create information products for different areas of their life, or even in this industry if they have more success than somebody who's starting on day 1.
Awesome. Oh, so I just did an event and the offer was your Thrive, right? And what I said, I taught them how to do a seller seminar and a buyer seminar and a business networking business seminar. And I said, create your own, like you're going to create your own course. So you can say, hey, take my course on selling, on buying, and that, which I think was perfect. So, okay. So you are putting on an event recently, which I'm super excited about with you and Tony Robbins. And I feel like right now we need it more than ever. And I deal with a lot of real estate agents. And of course, with inflation and the recession, everyone is freaking out. So you've been in this industry. What would you tell an agent like myself right now, the listeners that we have, an agent or a lender that's watching this, what do they need to do to prepare for what's coming?
Yeah, so first off, awesome to be here with you. We had the chance to do a live a couple weeks ago, so I got to know you a little better and your awesome audience. And those of you watching or listening, thanks for spending time with us. Here's what I believe, and I think this is really important to hear. And maybe you've heard it before, maybe you've thought about it before, but there is 0 doubts. And now you're probably like, you're going to be like, wow, this is such great news. But there is 0 doubts that your industry is going to be impacted. We don't know the depth of it's going to be impacted, but if you're old enough, right? Winston Churchill said, for those that don't study history, it's bound to repeat itself. right? So if you just look back at '07 or you look back at 1999, I was in business for both of those, things shift, they change. It doesn't mean that you have to die, in Tony Robbins' terms, right? When winter comes, an economic winter, some people starve and freeze, and some people snowboard and ski, right? So what is the difference between the two? How can you find a way to thrive and shift it? And here's what I like to go upstream, meaning how do we get to the root cause of some of it? When things shift, we just had 2 years of uncertainty with COVID and mask or not mask and vaccine or no vaccine or schools or no schools. Doesn't matter what your beliefs are. We have been polarized. We have been pushed far apart, right? When I believe most of us have way more in common than we do apart, but the news would make you think we hate each other, right? No matter where you are. So we had that, and then after 2 years of that, we go into crazy inflation. Looks like a recession inevitable. Interest rates going up. They're saying that it's going to go up a whole nother basis point in the next month or so, and then another basis point by the end of the year. That's going to freak people out. You know that. But here's what I want to say. Now you're like, wow, I thought I was going to be motivated by this conversation. Here's what I want to share. Isn't it better to prepare and anticipate rather than react? You know, I love the words what Tony Robbins says. Don't make things worse than they are, but don't make things better than they are. See them as they are. And as it is right now, things are shifting, right? I'm in a real estate deal right now that where I started with the negotiation, I pulled out, and the deal is $2 million less just in the last 9 weeks, and I still don't think I'm going to take it. Wow. And they came down $2 million. That deal, just 3 months ago, there would have been bidders going up, not down.
Yep.
Just 3 months, right? So things are shifting. So what do we do about it? Here's the first step I'd love to challenge you to do. Do whatever it takes to climb inside your mind and find those insecurities, those beliefs, that imposter syndrome, that self-doubt that has already cost you too much in your life. I'm going to challenge you, whether you're into personal development or not, I challenge you to find it. Because here's what I know. Thinking I'm too old, I'm too young, I live in the wrong area, it's the wrong economy, it's the wrong president, all those things. We all have our own stuff. My husband doesn't support me like I wish he would. My wife thinks I'm crazy. I don't know what it is. We all have it. Here's what I know. When things shift, it becomes magnified. So if there's been ever anything in your life that you missed opportunity, or you played small, or you didn't tap into your full potential, or you let an opportunity pass you by, whatever that was in a regular time, especially the last decade, you couldn't really mess up in real estate in the last decade. If you're a rehabber and you bought something, and if it took you an extra 6 months to sell, you got an extra 10 grand. Like, you couldn't really mess up, right? But what about when those sales aren't coming in? And people are really choosing on what realtor. And you can't just put a sign and do one open house and sell in 3 minutes when you have to do the work, when you have to figure out, why are people going to come to me? There's way too many. There probably is a lot of extra real estate agents in the space that are just dabbling, unlike you, because they thought, oh, houses are easy to sell. Those people are all going to be gone. I've been here 2 different times. They go away. The people that are gaining capabilities, the ones that are innovating, the ones that are anchoring a mindset to see opportunity rather than obstacles, right? So just know, I just wanted to spend a minute to say, if you're a little uncertain, if you're a little scared, congratulations for being human. But know in times like this, right? Know in times like this is truly a time that you can thrive if you first anchor in a mindset and say, hey, I'm not going to let this outside world affect me. I'm going to affect the outside world. And here's I don't want to do a whole lesson on personal development, but here's what I'm going to tell you. Find whatever ignites that inner fire in you, whether that's reading a book, listening to a podcast, going to an event, reading a chapter a day, praying to God, being with your children, being around your spouse. There are things that make you feel like a hero, and there's things that make you feel like an imposter. Do less of the things that rob your confidence. Stop watching the news. Stop being around negative people. Stop having doomsday conversations, and start looking for opportunity. Find a way to be stronger, be faster, gain capabilities. Come to our live event. Watch Tony and I fire you up. Listen to Krista. Do whatever it takes to say, this is going to be hard, but this is when I shine. Google when the most money is made. Usually during a recession. Google when some of the most empowered companies were formed during a recession. How? They found a way to ski and snowboard, not starve, right? So first, I believe we got to go upstream and anchor a different mindset and start looking for opportunities rather than looking for obstacles, right? Do whatever it takes. So that's number one. Anything before I go on?
Yeah, I was just going to say, so I've been interviewing this past 2 weeks, just some very successful people in all walks of life. And every one of them said the same thing. It's like, anchor your positive thoughts, be really cautious of what you're focusing on, get rid of the news, stop thinking about negativity, focus on what you can do well, bring those opportunities to you. And it's almost like we're all hitting record, right? But because it's really the basis of success. All the success starts within the mind. Okay, wonderful.
And here's what I want to say though. I'm glad people are saying that, and I'm glad if you're hearing it again for the first time, or second time, fifth time, 20th time. Because let me ask you something. So many people say, "Oh, I know how to get in shape. I got to go to the gym more and eat better." But are you doing it? Right? I know how to make my relationship more intimate with my spouse. But are you really listening? Are you doing the things you used to do in the first 3 weeks of your relationship? A lot of cases not. You might hear, I have to work on my mindset. I kind of stop with the new. You might hear it, but are you doing it? So today, I'm going to encourage you, I'm going to challenge you to really do what it takes. Praying, listening, reading, running, jogging, family, friends, be stronger. So that's the first part. The second part is, as a real estate agent or a realtor or being in the real estate space, what I'd say is, how do I get in front of where things are going? What can I do to create more revenue, create more impact? How do I create stuff that allows me to stand out amongst everybody else? The way I used to look at stuff, Krista, when I first started my business, I was like, in a sea of people with red shirts, how do I be the only person with a black shirt? Or a sea of black shirts, I'm the only person with a red shirt. How do I stand out, right? So if you boil it down to standing out, for those of you old enough to know, in 2007, when the world shifted, mortgage brokers, title companies, real estate agents, everybody associated to real estate, 30%, 40% of the people that were in it were gone.
Absolutely.
And the people left standing, Krista, you know this better than me. The people left standing by 2009, 2011, they're the brokers you know as the best of the best. They came through that, and when there was nobody left standing, ooh, man, they skyrocketed to a whole nother level. You know that to be true, and I'm sure that's what you do on a regular basis, helping people be those standouts. So I'd love if you want to go in this direction, I'd love to share some of the things that, listen, I am selfishly promoting you guys should be at the Time to Thrive Challenge. It's August 2nd. It's any day now. You go to thrive135.com. You should write that down. Don't go right now. Why I want you to go is because between Tony Robbins, myself, and our amazing guests, Russell Brunson, Jenna Kutcher, Brennan Bouchard, Matthew McConaughey's even coming. You know, we have this 5 days designed to show you how to innovate, how to shift, how to be creative, how to be effective and efficient, and how to use the self-education industry to fuel your current company or start a whole new side company. And I'd love to explore that a little bit, because being in real estate my whole life, I think there's some cool ways that you might not be thinking of.
That's exactly why that you're here, because, you know, we want to give real estate agents, lenders, anybody in the real estate space, quite frankly, anyone, the tools to kind of not just make it, but to really just knock it out of the park. And we started our conversation off with, Dean, like, what am I not thinking of? What should I be telling people to do? Which is be very different. What you just said it. What are people doing that you are, what aren't they doing that you should be? Be different, be the red shirt when they're all wearing black. And that's what I want you to talk about is, yeah, I know that your training, what you're offering is going to excite people. It's going to teach them new ways of thinking, but like, what are you going to teach them so that they can stand out, so they can be unique, so they truly, really are that unique selling proposition? That's what I'm super excited to hear about.
I love it. So let's look at two ways. We're talking about, I really want you to hear me now. Before you say, oh, that's not for me, I really want you to hear me. We're talking about the self-education industry, or a digital product, an information product, selling what you know or bolting it on to an existing business. What would Warren Buffett say, right? In time of recession, do two things: invest in yourself and have a product or a company with higher margins, right? Selling what you know has the highest margin of anything, because you could sell it over and over again, impact others, and it costs you nothing to produce, right? But I really want you to think of two ways of picturing a product. One is bolting a digital product onto what you currently do, and one is creating something completely separate that can generate revenue on its own. So let's say, as an agent, you want to stand out. information in today's world, people are realizing it's more valuable than anything else. We can give it for free. We can impact others. So imagine if you, and I'm sure you learned better strategies than this with Krista, but I want you to look through the lens of something you've never done before. Imagine you understanding how to market in a way you've never done before, because we teach that on day 3. How to find clients you've never found before. We teach that on day 4. How to identify the value of your life experience. We teach that on day 2. And realize, oh my God, my life experience or what I'm doing is valuable. Here's how to find them. Here's how to deliver it. Imagine as an agent, imagine if you created a consumer awareness guide on the 7 deadly sins of picking the wrong agent in a shifting economy. And you created a digital product that went out for free that told people, hey, during a booming economy, pick anyone, put a sign in your front yard, you sell your house. When that shifts, you can't have someone that does this. You shouldn't have someone that does this. But you should have someone that knows this, knows this, knows this, and knows this. And you educate people on how to pick the right agent, and you are the right agent because you're doing it the right way. People who understand how to bolt on an information product with massive value to give people a sense of security, like, oh, I never would have thought not to pick somebody like this and pick somebody like this. Wow, who wrote this? Who's the author of this digital product? Oh my God, it's Krista. I got to use her. Call her, right? Imagine creating the Sell Your House audit. Before you sell your house, here is the audit you must do to maximize selling your house in a shifting economy. Who's the author of that audit? Whoever is the person I want to use. So there are multiple ways you could bolt on a digital information product to what you currently do to help you wear that red shirt in a sea of black shirts. On the other side, in so many cases in your life, and this is Krista, what you do. You're top real estate agent and selling more houses than anybody else. Now you teach others to do it. Selling what you know. What you have to realize in selling what you know is most of the time in life, the only thing we have to be is one chapter ahead of anybody starting. So imagine you say to yourself, well, I've only sold 20 houses in my life. How would you have loved when you never sold one house if you had the opportunity to learn from someone who already sold 20? How valuable would that be to you? What did you mess up on? How did it take you? How long did it take you to get your first one? How did you not give up mentally? What did you do with your friends that tell you you're crazy to be in this business? How do you talk to someone when they say no and they go to walk out of the house? How do you treat the wife compared to the husband or the partners? How do you treat one partner compared to the other partner? And what's more important? Should I decorate the kitchen? Should I decorate the kitchen and the master? Or is that old BS and that doesn't matter? Oh my God, I don't know. Imagine having the opportunity to speak to someone who already did 20 deals the day you started and they downloaded everything they learned. How valuable would that be? The person hasn't done 200 houses. They're not the top agent in the world, but they're a chapter ahead of you. How valuable would that be? But in so many cases, whether you want to teach what you do as an agent, we have people that do one thing for 20 years, but then they teach how they elegantly got through a divorce and they made sure their kids were okay, or how they went vegan to cure diabetes and arthritis, or how they cured eczema naturally for their children, or how they do yoga, or how they play the piano, or how they meditate. We have 4,500 different niches that people go, I'm going to be the best real estate agent in the world. I'm going to learn from Krista, but I'm also going to sell how to do Tai Chi from home. Right? And then you get this opportunity to be a part of an industry that's growing like this, geometrically. You got to understand the self-education industry. I've been in for 25 years. Tony's been in for 40-something years. But right now, 4 years ago, this industry was about $100 million a day. Right now, the industry is almost $1 billion a day. And
Wow.
They say by 2028, it will be $1 trillion a year industry. Why is it growing? Not because of Tony Robbins and Dean Graziosi and Krista. It's growing from regular people going, wow, I have something to share. I can learn how to identify it, shift it, create it, sell it, and create real value for others and real success for myself. It is being fueled by the average person, and that's why Tony and I decided to do this challenge, do it for free. And I'm just telling you, if there's anything I said that intrigues you, if you're confused, if you're thinking, I don't have a following, who would listen to me, show up. If you want to do something different, show up. If you want to bolt a digital product onto your current business to stand out with that red shirt, show up. And let's show you for free how this is not for other people anymore.
Now you can see how excited Dean is, right? I mean, you could also tell he knows something about real estate because he was just flapping everything off so easily. So Dean, I've got to ask you a question. I've asked you on the spot. Okay. So we have over 1,000 people opted in already. We know we're going to have more. Can you promise you'll give us some real estate examples too while you're doing the training, since we're going to have so many people that are already going to be there?
I will. I promise. I'll do that on day 2. I'll give real estate example on day 2. And I just want to tell you, I don't care what business you're in. I don't care if you think I never want to be in this business. When do you get the opportunity to learn from Tony Robbins and myself and Brendon Burchard and Jenna Kutcher and Russell Brunson? These are all people that get $100,000 to $300,000 just to walk out on a stage.
Oh,
right?
I've written a check for $150,000 for people on your stage, like for, a very short time. People pay hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars to be coached and to be taught and trained by you. So this isn't once in a lifetime opportunity. I've heard you guys might not do it again, which makes it even more of a reason to show up. And I mean, we all need it right now. So I can't wait to do it with you. I can't wait for it. We're all going to love it. We're going to inspire each other together. So please show up. And I want to ask you one more thing, if we can, just a couple more things. How are you doing on time?
I'm good. Let's go.
Oh, okay. You're good. So, everyone thinks like there's one belief system, there's this one, Russell calls it the domino effect, getting over the past domino. From your experience in real estate, what do you think that belief system is for agents? Like, what's that one thing they need to think about differently in that one belief system they kind of need to get over it, just from what you've seen?
Yeah, I think, really great question. What I believe, it's the same for anything in life. If what you believe, what did Henry Ford say? If you believe you can, or you believe you can't, both are true, right? And what I'd say is, I would start training my brain to go, wow, a recession is coming. I am going to be the king of recession real estate, or the queen of recession real estate. Like, I would literally start, you asked me the way I would do it, I would just start thinking, oh my God, everybody else is going to be scared. What do they say? During times of adversity, we have fight or flight. Some people are going to run. Some people are going to try to fight it. But a majority of people, and I want you to hear this, are going to freeze. They're going to go, ooh, this is a weird industry. Oh, man, can I really do it? And houses aren't selling. They were selling 3 days on average, then 7 days on average, then 21 days on average. Now houses are sitting for 6 months, and there's lots of other realtors, and they've been doing it longer than me. Oh, man, I'm gonna bail, right? Yep. That's where you got to shift that mindset and say, wow, a lot of people are going to bail because it's not easy anymore. They can't hit the easy button. They just can't put a sign out and win. If I put a little effort, if I become unique, if I create a digital product, if I start helping people more, I'm going to stand out. I'll get through this little blip. Did you know that the average recession since the beginning of America, there's been 30 recessions?
Wow.
Do you know what the average lasts?
No.
18 months. Okay. So you decide, oh, this 18 months, I'm going to sharpen my skills. I'm going to sharpen my mindset. I'll be the leader in my area. And when this baby turns in 18 months, no one is going to be catching me, because they're going to all sit around with their hands in their pants, their hands under their butts, waiting for things to change. And I'm going to own this market. So that's the mindset I would shift. I'd be like, how do I own this? What capabilities do I need to gain? What actions do I have to take? What mindset do I need to be the king, be the queen, and own this market? That's how I approach everything in life.
And it's true. I mean, I was through the recession, and it crushed it. Best years of my business were during, the 2008 crash. So there's so much opportunity. You just keep thinking that way, keep believing it, keep seeing it. I love it. I love it. Okay. So that's it, everyone. He's told you he's doing an amazing training. It is free. It is 5 days. You just go to thrive135.com. Dean and Tony are going to be personally teaching you with other thought leaders that have achieved the success that you want. And what do they say? You can Google anything. Like, Google will tell you anything. Don't ask how, ask who. Who can help get you there? You're looking at a man who's actually been through several recessions in real estate, and he's going to personally be giving you examples on how to not just survive, but to thrive during what we're seeing. Dean, thank you so much. Is there anything that I missed that I should have thought about to ask you or to kind of talk about? I loved how you said that it doesn't just have to be real estate. I mean, think about something you've gone through that you're really, really good at, or a problem that you went through in the past that now you've come over on the other side of it. There's so much more that you can do and you have to add to the world. And, just 4 years ago, I was just an agent in my own town, and I saw a training similar to the one that you're having. And it was like, a light bulb went off and I realized, oh my gosh, I have this other opportunity. And so many people told me not to do it. They said, Krista, normal people at 46 years old don't stop their career when they're doing, over $1 million a year in commissions to do something else. You shouldn't do it. We love you, but don't. And I was like, maybe I shouldn't, but I'm so glad I did, because now it's like things are amazing. So everyone, show up, put it on your calendar, be committed to it. Did I miss anything, Dean?
No, I'd say it's so true. Listen, your brain's going to tell you it's not for me. Your friends are going to tell you you're nuts. And simultaneously, I've never found anything in my life where you get to give people information that actually transforms them and you get paid to do it. It's a gift and a blessing to me, and I'm so grateful to God that I'm in this industry, and I'd hate for you to even miss out of exploring it. The second thing I'd say is don't put this off. When you're hearing this right now, go to thrive135.com and register. There's two things that I will say. Take the link, literally after you register, the next thing you should do is take the link and text it to a couple people that you want to do this with you. Create accountability partners. Say, hey, let's do this together. At the end of day one, I'll meet you on Zoom or I'll call you. Let's go through our biggest takeaways. Literally text it to somebody and say, don't dabble. This is free. It may never happen again. Get your butt there. Thrive135.com. Do that. And then secondly, Zig Ziglar said, people who don't pay don't usually pay attention. Mm-hmm. Think about that. I worked my tail off. You probably did too for my first car. I treated that thing. I cleaned every day. And then you realize as you get older, you get more successful. You buy your kids a car. It's free. It's a mess. They wreck it. It's like, because they didn't pay for it, they don't appreciate every little morsel of it, right? It's the same thing here. This shouldn't be free. We want to do it free because we want to impact the world. But I would convince yourself that you paid $1,000 for it. Because if you pay, you'll show up with a pen in hand, journal, and you'll write, and you'll see the value in this information. So number one, go register, thrive135.com. Number two, text that to an accountability partner or 5. And number 3, really anchor in, put it in your calendar, put it on your phone, show up, let's play full out.
Ooh, I'm excited. I love your call to action. You just give them one specific thing to do. Like, go sign up, invite 3 people so you have accountability. Dean, thank you. This was awesome. I had such a good time interviewing you. I cannot wait to see you in action live, you and Tony. I know just from watching you just through the past, like, you just very inspiring, and he's going to give you specific things to do to enhance your business, to enhance your life. So be there no matter what. And thank you, everyone. I hope you are just as fired up as I am. Remember, we appreciate your time so much, but here's what I know. Information is not power, but implementation is. You've got to implement, you've got to do. So go sign up, and I'll see you at the challenge.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Thanks so much for watching my video. You can learn more about how to be a successful real estate professional by watching other videos that I have. And be sure to subscribe to my channel. And as always, make it a great home selling and buying day.